This is crazy. Because I'm a homeless person, and my sense of homeless I guess, is a little different from the average person who is homeless, simply because in most cases, a person dealing with homelessness is dealing with a host of other problems, and a lot of them are mental. So my situation in dealing with being homeless and dealing with being homeless, I'm looking at it a little different. In other words, I'm dealing with it a little different. My spirit with respect to being homeless is not at its lowest point, nor is it dampened by me being homeless, because for me this is temporarily. But now the point that I'm making is that, okay, so today, here it is, we leave the shelter this morning, and it's raining, and it's cold. It's cold and it's raining, and I mean, it's wet. There's no place for a homeless person to go if it's cold out, if it's raining. There's no place for a person to go. You can't go to Penn Station because they want to kick you out of there. You can't go to the North Library because that's closed. So you can't go back to the shelter we was at because that's closed. So I go on the internet to find out, I'm saying, okay, well, this is not right. Homeless people shouldn't be allowed to be outside during the rain and the extreme cold. And I'm thinking to myself, well, this shelter that I'm in is wrong because they put us out this morning. Well, lo and behold, I go on the internet and I find out that this situation of dealing with homeless people and what they have to go through when they're in a situation where it's raining out, it's cold, it's extremely cold. Most of the people that are homeless are not even dressed properly. Okay, so I go on YouTube and define that this is the issue, in that right now the powers that be, like, they're okay with you being outside in the rain if it's cold and you ain't dressed properly and you might get sick and you may have to go to the hospital. This is what it is. So I'm a little taken aback right now by that, because I didn't know that it was like that. I really thought that this homeless situation was a situation that people were really concerned about. But now, as I'm looking at it after going on YouTube and finding out that today of all days, when it's raining out and it's snowing out and it's cold and it's wet and people don't have nowhere to go and people are going to get sick, I'm finding that they always knew this. This was always the issue, and that I was the only one that was in the dark about whether or not a person should be allowed to. I was the only one in the dark about this issue of people being outside when it's raining and it's snowing and it's cold and they're not dressed properly. I was in the dark about it, because now I'm seeing that, okay, this is an issue and it's talked about, but people don't care. And that's crazy, because we don't live in a country. You go in some countries, people are living in the street, they're drinking dirty water, they're eating out of garbage cans because they don't have nowhere to live and they don't have no way to take care of themselves. And we see that here in America, but because this is America, we look at it and we say, okay, well, it's a little different here because there are avenues and there are things that are open. But you know what though? The reality is it's not. The reality is that there is nothing in place to help the homeless. And when you look at the fact that it's the people who have money, the elite, they're the ones you in the street and you homeless and you cold and you ain't got nowhere to go and you might die and they have to pay taxpayers money to take care of you in the hospital. They don't care. So that makes me think and say, well, damn, what is the purpose of having politicians? And I'm not taking any shots at anybody, but I'm just saying that this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And I'm not saying from my standpoint, because I'm okay. I'm going to survive. I got an umbrella. I'm dressed. I'm warm and all this stuff. But what I'm saying is, What about the people that don't have this stuff? And I'm saying to myself now, like, what is the point of having politicians if nobody's trying to help? Nobody's helping. Nobody's helping homeless people. Nobody cares about homeless people. The elite don't care about homeless people. People with money don't care about homeless people. Politicians don't care about homeless people. And this is the reason why there are homeless people outside today in Newark, New Jersey, with snow on the ground, and it's raining, and it's extremely cold, and people walking around, and they're not dressed properly, and they're getting sick. And right now, somebody somewhere just died because of this extreme. This is crazy. This is unacceptable. It's crazy, and this is something that needs to be talked about. My name is Todd Smith from Todd Smith TV. Thanks.